Hello, I'm coming to you with this hat. It says denial is a good thing if used correctly. The reason I'm doing that because actually, unfortunately, might sound funny, but Muslim people are living in denial and they really don't know. So in a way, I feel sorry for them. Anyway, today's video about is Islam a religion of peace? We hear that all the time. Yet, reality is the bombing and the murdering and the slaughtering and all that's happening reflect differently on Muslims. So we're going to look into the essence of Islam, which is Quran. Believe it or not, most Muslims, they do not know that if they are devout Muslim and they do their prayer, their daily prayer, in this prayer, without knowing, they actually kind of like call the Christian and the Jews bad names. At least, bare minimum, 17 times a day, calling the Jews those who God is angry with them, or like he cast them out of his heart. And the Christians, they call them Dalin, meaning lost souls. Okay, now let's see, Islam, religion of peace. Is that true? The best thing that we can really find out if Islam is a religion of peace is we have to go to the source. The most reliable source in Islam is definitely the Quran. So I go to the second chapter in Quran is called Al-Baqarah. That means the cow is the second chapter, verse 244. I chose Sahih Intel. The translation is Sahih Intel. It is probably the most, in my opinion, there might be more honest translation, but this guy somewhat okay. So in the translation reads in chapter 2, 244, and fight. This is not so honest. The word can be fight here, but not in that context of that verse. Okay, it says fight. It says and fight in the cause of Allah, and know that Allah is hearing and knowing. If I am to translate this, it's not fight. It's probably you can use fight, but fight with the objective to murder your enemy. Then it will be accurate this way. Okay, we go to the next peaceful Quranic verse, and this is chapter 4, verse 61. It's called Al-Nisa, means the women. Okay, and I chose Sahih Intel, and it goes, and when it is said to them, come to what Allah has revealed and to the messenger, you see the hypocrites turning away from you in aversion. Okay, some people are not religious. They don't want to be religious people. They want to go their own ways. Today there are many people like that. They don't be religious. That's okay. That's your business. Okay? No. He has to submit them. They have to submit to his path, to his way. Okay? And if they don't, of course, they will be murdered. He will fight them until basically kill them. And then we read in Al-Nisa also the women, which is chapter 4, but verse 74. Sahih Intel says, so let those who fight fight here is okay, but fight also with the objective to kill. So let those fight in the cause of Allah who sell the life of, bear with me, sell the life of this world for the hereafter. So Muhammad was a merchant, and that shows in his religion. It's a business, selling and buying. He's a merchant. So the people who sell their life in this world sacrifice themselves. Of course, he uses Allah, but actually for his sake, for his cause. Nobody saw Allah saying anything to him. So sacrifice their life here to gain the life of the hereafter, the next life. And he who fight in the cause of Allah and is killed. This because the fight is not fight arguing with one another. The fight is actually with the sword, and one has to die. Okay? So those who are killed from the Muslim, those who are killed or achieve victory. So in case when you go to fight the infidels or the non-believers, there's a chance that you will be killed, or kill and be victorious. So he says, fight in the cause of Allah and is killed or achieves victory, we will bestow upon him great reward. There is great reward either way for the follower of Muhammad, because if you are victorious over the enemy, you will loot, you will take all of their possessions, all their money becomes yours, and you will actually take their women to be your slaves. You can do whatever you want with them. You can sell them, you can do whatever you want with them. You can hang them upside down if you wish. They are your slaves. They have no rights, no human rights. They are property. They are not human at this moment. Okay, so that's the reward here on earth. And in case if you get killed, you're still going to get a good reward, even better reward in the next world. You will have 72 virgin and endless alcohol, wine, and so on and so forth. So this is a great way to entice lustful people to follow you. Okay, we read in peaceful Islamic verse. The chapter is called Al-Ma'idah, the food. It's chapter 5, verse 33, Sahih Intel. Indeed, the penalty for those who wage war against Allah and His Messenger and strive upon earth to cause corruption, as marrying 9 years old girl is not a corruption, okay? And cause corruption is none but that, bear with me, that they be killed or crucified, or that their hands and feet be cut off from opposite sides, or that they be exiled from the land. That is for them a disgrace in this world, and for them in the hereafter. So they will receive this after all that He did to them. They will receive disgrace here on earth and in the hereafter, and they will receive terrible punishment. Of course, to cut their hands and their feet opposite side and to crucify them. You're talking about graphic. I'm sorry, it is not funny, but I mean, talking about a person with imagination of graphic horror and terror. And then when we hear the media speak and say extremist, Muslim extremist, I really haven't seen an extremist as extreme as Muhammad, as Quran. And this is a way to numb the people that Islam is a good religion. It's not. It's a violent religion. And the media honestly have to say it out loud. They cannot deceive and numb the people and explain to them that Islam is a good religion. It is not. It is not. A good Muslim follows this, so he goes and torture people and kill them and cut their feet and their legs and their arms. We have to be realistic. Okay, let's go to another very peaceful Islamic Quranic verse, and this is called Al-Tawbah. The chapter is called Al-Tawbah, immunity. It means immunity. Chapter 9, verse 5. Sahih Intel, the translation. And when the sacred months, the sacred months, they were 4 months. 4 months. The Muslim, the people of Arabia, Muslim or non-Muslim, agreed that these 4 months were sacred. That means during these 4 months, everybody has to go home and stay with their family, spend time with their family and their friends, and no fighting. But Muhammad is telling them, the moment these 4 months are done, midnight, once these 4 months are done, then kill the polytheists wherever you find them and capture them and and besiege them and sit in, wait for them at every place of ambush. Wow. I guess he studied Sun Tzu, Art of War. Ambush. That a religion of ambush. But if they should repent, that means follow the way of Muhammad. Establish prayer, pray, and in the prayer they will exalt Muhammad. And give zakah. Zakah, it means actually they have to give certain amount of money of their income to Muhammad to protect them from him, practically. Give him zakah, which is money, certain amount of money of their income every week or every month or whatever, so he will not kill them. Talking about mafia here. Once again, establish prayer and give zakah. Let them go on their way. Indeed, Allah is forgiving and merciful. What a mercy this is. Another peaceful Islamic, very peaceful Quranic verse. It's chapter 3, verse 56, and it's called Al-Imran. It's the family of Imran, the family of the mother of Jesus. It's called Imran, this family. It says, and as for those who disbelieved, I will punish them with severe punishment in this world and in the hereafter. Not just here. Really, he enjoy seeing people suffering and punished, and they will have no helper. Thank you very much. I see. Okay. The thing here that God will punish people so badly. But listen to this Quranic verse says it is I forgot to put the reference, but in case if somebody wants it, I will actually write it down. I'm sorry, I forgot to put it. Okay, it says, and if Allah had willed, He could have made you of one religion, but He causes to stray whom He wills and guides whom He wills. And you will surely be questioned. You will be questioned about what you used to do. So here Allah decides if I am going to be a devout Muslim or an unbeliever. So He will direct my life. I have no will of my own. Allah will direct certain people to follow the right path, and when they die, they go to the good place in after they die in heaven. They go to heaven, and they will have virgin and all kinds and wine and whiskey and whatever. And those like me, God doesn't want me to follow, so He will punish me here and in the other world. And I'm bringing this because in the previous this is just to I'm sorry, okay, I wrote it down. It's actually called, the chapter is called the Bee and Al-Nahl, and it's 1693. I see it here. Okay, and I put this chapter because in the previous chapter it says, and so for those who disbelieved, and so God, Allah made them disbelieve, and then He come to torture them. Somebody can put this together. I don't know how to put it together, but I mean, it's in the Quran. God makes you disbelieve, and then He asks you, come here. Why did you do that? Okay, another Muslim, another peaceful Quranic verse, also from family of Imran, Ali Imran, and it's chapter 3, but verse 151, Sahih Intel, the translation is Sahih Intel. We will cast terror, God is speaking. We will cast terror. So people are wondering where ISIS and all these Muslim groups are terrorizing people. Allah Himself will cast terror into the hearts of those who disbelieve for what they have associated with Allah, of which He had not sent down any authority, and their refuge will be the fire, and the wretched is the residence of hell. So that it is more than 100 verses in Quran speaks of murder and killing in a very graphic way. And if this is the religion of peace, please, can somebody tell me if this is heaven and peace, and can somebody explain to me how hell would look like? Okay, Quranic peaceful Quranic verse from chapter 8. It's called Al-Anfal, the spoils of war, the booties, the women and the gold and the money of those who have been conquered. Okay? Remember when your Lord inspired to the angels, I am with you, so strengthen those who have believed. I will cast terror into the hearts. Again, God is in the business of casting terror in the heart of those who disbelieved. So strike them upon their necks, and strike them here not with a shoelace or with a piece of paper. Strike them with the sword on their necks, and strike from them every fingertip. Chop their fingertips, chop their fingers off, and chop their heads off from the neck. Very peaceful. Okay, let's go to the next peaceful Quranic verse. It's also from the spoils of war, chapter 8, verse 39, and that's Sahih Intel. And fight them until there is no fitna. Fitna, that's an Arabic word. It means like there is no two sides. There is no two ways of thinking. Only one thinking, Muhammad's thinking. Okay? If you have a different opinion, this is fitna. This is splitting the group. Okay, so let's read the whole thing. And fight them until there is no fitna, and until the religion all of it is for Allah. And if they cease, then indeed Allah is seeing of what they do. Okay, very peaceful Quranic verse. Okay, there are so many violent Quranic verses, and unfortunately we have these I cannot and I should not blame the Muslim clerks, because that's their business, that's their livelihood. They make their money from this, so they are not going to open these sick verses and teach it to people and tell them this is your religion. They can't do that. They will lose their job. They will lose their income. But what I am talking about is the media, and many of them, if not all, they know what's in Quran. They know that it is violent. But they are bought by the petrodollar. So when they see a person or a group of people like ISIS or Al-Qaeda or Boko Haram or any of these people, they tell us, oh, Muslim extremist. No, these are true Muslims. These are Muslims who are trying to live to the standard of Muhammad, of violence, trying to live the Quran. So stop fooling people. Thank you very much. God bless you. See you again.